Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Seahawks recap show. And I'm betting you weren't expecting to see me again today, but let's talk about the new addition the Seahawks just added, linebacker Frank Clark. And as you can probably tell by my reaction, I am so excited for this. A second round pick in 2015 finally comes back home to the Seahawks. And I'm just here to break down not only my reaction, but give you a little bit of information on Frank Clark since, he's back now. So, what a better time to get to know him. Let's get into the stats and contracts first before I get into my thoughts on the trade. So, Frank Clark signed with the Broncos in 2023 a $3.75 million contract. He was cut previously this week and is now picked up by Seattle for a $1.165 million contract. Only 1 year, so he's picked up for 11 games only. This has got to be the Uchenna Nwosu replacement. And what a great pickup, in my opinion. In his years with Seattle, he has 4 years with Seattle. He was picked in the second round, 63rd overall. And in his 62 games with Seattle, he recorded 136 tackles, 35 sacks, and an interception. And then he left for Kansas City in 2019. But in 2019, he became a Pro Bowler. So with Kansas City, he became a three-time Pro Bowler. And looking at it, man, I'm so emphatic about Frank Clark being back on the team because he's a veteran presence. He's 30 years old. He can fill in for 11 games, and he only played one game in Denver, had two solo tackles. So his tackling is there. His tackling is still a big part of his game, and that's exactly what Seattle needs. I'm looking at his sack numbers, and he's done really well with sacks recently. Even in his older age, 2019 he had eight sacks here, 6 sacks in 2021, 4.5 in 2022, in 2020 or in 2021 rather. In 2022, he had 5 sacks, and of course, because he only played the one game, he had 0 sacks in 2023, but that will change. And man, honestly, let's get to my reaction. So, to have Frank Clark back in the room, to see him back in a Seahawks uniform after losing him with the Chiefs, it's great to see. I really missed him when he left in 2019. Now with Uchenna Nwosu likely out for the rest of the season, bringing back a guy like Frank Clark is a great pickup. I'm sure having a veteran presence there will not only benefit the Seahawks on the field, but also off the field as well in terms of developing Boya Mafe and Derek Hall a little bit more. Do I think Frank Clark will return to the same form he had with Seattle all those years ago? No. I don't expect him to turn back the clock. He's 30 now. And what I do expect from him, though, is that his tackling will still be the same. This is not the exact same defense he was having in the Legion of Boom days, but it's still somewhat the same. And a lot of the skills he's learned from the Seattle's defense when the Legion of Boom was still around, he can easily transfer back into the system and be a good fit, I still believe. So the only thing I really care about for him to do is fill in the run gap. I still want him to be an amazing tackler. If he gets a few sacks here and there, and if he gets a few pass deflections here and there, great. But overall, he's a run stopper. He's a guy that I'm expecting to be a big body, and I can't wait to see what he does for the remaining 11 weeks of the season. And who knows, if he does really well and wants to come back, he can re-sign here because now he's back home. And if he wants to retire, he can do that too. And be solidified as a Seahawks legend in my book. But anyways, I'm super excited that Frank Clark is back, and we'll see if he can help us get a win over the Browns on Sunday and make us go up to 5-2. Anyways, this is Ryan Koki of the Seahawk Recap Show signing off, and welcome back, Frank